Bill Barr didn't think Donald Trump had been the perfect president, but heading into the 2020 election, he still supported him.
There were so many situations you found yourself in. Your name brought up in the infamous Ukraine call, Lafayette Park, the president asking you to go after his enemies.
The tweets.
The tweets. Why didn't you reach a point where you say, I quit?
Well, you know, after he tweeted and I said he was making my job impossible, I gave it consideration.
You did think about quitting?
Yeah, I just didn't think it was fair for me to do in an election year, so I decided I would just stay through.
Were you not worried about this guy becoming president again?
In this case, in my mind, it was a question of who was the least objectionable candidate, and I felt that even with some of his faults, Trump policies were good for the country.
On election night, Barr was at the White House watch party.
What was the mood there?
I think people were generally optimistic because of the size of the crowds at the end. There was a feeling that he had closed strong.
But in the early morning hours, the mood turned. Joe Biden had taken the lead, and the president went in front of the cameras to cry foul.
We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
You doubted that the president would ever admit he lost. You write, in his cosmos, a loser was the lowest form of life. You predicted the loss. Did you predict that he would not accept the loss?
Yeah, I didn't feel he would ever accept it.
Instead, Barr says the president latched on to all kinds of theories about a stolen election, stuffed ballot boxes, rigged voting machines. Barr authorized the Department of Justice to investigate the claims, once again raising questions about his motives, whether he was using the department to do the president's dirty work. Barr says, far from it, he just wanted answers.
I quickly came to the conclusion that the initial stuff that was pointed to, like the Dominion machines and all these other conspiracy theories, were nonsense. This idea of some inner city boiler room where people are cranking out false ballots is a fantasy.
You looked at all these.
We looked at, yes, it's a fantasy.
What's true, he says, is that there is no doubt Donald Trump lost the election.
When you actually look at the vote, there's no mystery why he lost in Wisconsin. He ran 50,000 votes behind the Republican ticket. The Republican Party had a good day in Wisconsin. He was the weak sister on the ballot.
But Trump and his lawyers went on the offensive, spreading claims of fraud.
They conducted themselves in a way that suggests that there was fraud.
President Trump won by a landslide.
And rallying their base to believe the big lie.
Let me tell you, this election was rigged.
A month after the election, on the last Sunday of November, Donald Trump phoned in to Fox News and took aim at Bill Barr's Justice Department.
You would think if you're in the FBI or Department of Justice, this is the biggest thing you could be looking at.
He went on Maria Bartiromo's show, and he tried to say that the reason people can't come up with evidence of fraud is because the department isn't looking for it.
Where are they? I've not seen anything.
And I was basically tired of this game.
Barr decided it was time to speak up. He publicly broke with the president, throwing cold water on Trump's election fraud story in an interview with the Associated Press.
Today, President Trump's own Attorney General spoke the long-known truth. There is no evidence of widespread voter fraud.
Within hours, Barr was summoned to that fateful meeting with the president.
That's the maddest I'd ever see him.
This is a reaction to what you had told the AP.
Right, he asked me if I had said that, and I said I had, and he said, you must hate me, you must hate Trump, you must hate Trump. I said, I don't hate Trump. And I told him that all this stuff was bullshit and about election fraud. And, it was wrong to be shoveling it out the way his team was. And he started asking me about different theories, and I had the answers. For example, he said, boxes were appearing, in Detroit at this building, even into the early hours of the morning. I said, that's because Detroit has over 600 precincts, and they centrally count them.
The president was unconvinced. In fact, Barr says he raised the possibility of seizing voting machines.
He said, well, I hear about these Dominion machines in Michigan. Some people think that they should be seized. And I said, there's no way the department is going to seize those machines. There's simply not probable cause.
He also told Trump what he thought of his legal team. Not a lot.
I said, the reason you are where you are is because you wheeled out a clown show of lawyers.
A clown show?
Yeah, clown car or something like that. I said, it's just a bunch of clowns.
Who are you referring to? Rudy Giuliani?
His Cracker Jack legal team, among others.
Barr says the president shot back, listing the ways he said Barr had failed him, and returning to his old gripe about not indicting FBI Director James Comey. That's when Barr says he offered up his resignation.
He slapped the desk and he said, accept it, go home, you're done.
Barr walked out of the White House to his waiting car.
And my FBI detail was there, and they said, where to, boss? I said, the department. My last act of rebellion.
Because he said, go home.
Yeah. And we're starting to ease down and it was a rainy, dark night, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 pounding on both sides of the armored Suburban, and everyone, including the FBI, was sort of jumped.
It was the White House counsel and another White House lawyer.
And they said, the president told us to not let you leave the building, to come back in. He's not going to fire you. And I said, well, I'm not going back in tonight.
2 weeks later, Barr resigned. He hasn't spoken to Trump since. When we asked the former president about this meeting, he disputed Barr's account, saying he demanded Barr's resignation for failing to do his job, including not properly investigating Trump's claims of election fraud.
Do you think he believes that he truly won the election?
I think his attitude probably is, well, either way. It either was stolen, or if it wasn't stolen, I want people to believe it was stolen. It's useful. I'm not sure he's, really fixated on finding out what the truth is.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.